Hi, my name is Dr. Dankwa. I'm the founder of Bivinzi, and I would like to welcome you to Bivinzi. If you are like most students, you are probably feeling a little overwhelmed right now. You've got a lot of material to read and not enough time to get through it all. And on top of that, you need more practice questions. But don't worry, we are here to help. With Bivinzi, you can summarize text to key points, generate multiple choice, true or false, short answer, and fill in the blank questions, and create a study guide, all with just a few clicks. And if you need more time to review the material, you can export your questions and study guide as a PDF, as a Word document, or as a text file. But that's not all. Bivinzi is also the only software that uses the test study method to help you learn faster and improve your exam performance. In fact, studies have shown that the test study method leads to a 14% increase in exam performance, and that is a whole letter grade. So if you are looking for a smarter, faster way to study, then look no further than Bivinzi. Try it for yourself today and see how much easier studying can be. So now, let me give you a quick overview of how Bivinzi works. So I'm currently logged in as a premium user, and what you want to do is navigate to services. Now there are two things you can do. You can actually summarize text to key points or do the text to questions options. And you're going to start off with the summarize text to key points. So I'm going to go ahead and click on the text to key points, and it's going to bring up a new interface. So there are two ways you can input text. You can actually just put the text in the text box here by copying and pasting it, or you can upload it as a file, as a Word document, or even as a PDF. So what I did is I curated some content on the history of the atom, and let's start by figuring out how many words are in this particular text. So I'm going to go ahead and do a quick Control A and then go to Tools and the word count, and you have about 1986 words. So I'm going to go ahead and copy the text, and I'm going to scroll down so you can take a look at the content. So I just curated this from Wikipedia, and now you have a sense of what the content is. So let's say you really needed to study this and you wanted to have a quick idea of what is actually going on in the text. We know there are about 1986 words in here. So now we're just going to copy all of this text and then go paste it in Bivinzi. And now you'll notice that you already have 1901 words in Bivinzi because Bivinzi already cleaned up some of the text. And now what you want to do is click summarize. And you just want to pay attention to the loop in the top left corner because that tells you that Bivinzi is thinking. And what we have now is the summary. So what actually happened is Bivinzi read the entire text, took out the key points, and then developed a summary and even put it in a language that is easier to assimilate. So you can go through the summarized content in the text box, but let's do one thing real quick. Let's check how many words this summary has. So I'm just going to copy the content and paste it in a new Google Docs. So this will be the summary right here. Copy A, go to Tools, word count, and you have 590 words. So once again, what Bivinzi actually did is it read the content, took out all the salient points, and then even put it in a language that is actually user-friendly. So now that you have the summary, once again, you can actually simply read it in the text box, and you could drag the right bottom corner to give you more real estate to view the content, or you could export it. So you could export it as a PDF, as a Word document, or even as a text file. So let's say you really wanted to use this as starter language or some way to build your own content for the future. You can download it as a Word document and then make some edits to it. Or you could simply download it as a PDF. So let's just download this as a PDF. So now we can go ahead and open the PDF file, and you have a really nice, elegant document. So you can either just print this out for future reference or just save it as a PDF in your repository of information, and you can come back to it, digest it some more so that you can have a deeper understanding of all the key points that you want to master. Now, let's say you didn't like that version of the summary. You can actually go ahead and click summarize again. And now you have another version of the summary, and you will notice that it is different from the previous summary, but it still keeps the key points and all the salient points that you need to master. So we can go ahead and copy the summary, go to our Google Docs, delete the previous summary, paste in our new content, do a Control A, go to Tools, and do a word count. And this time we have 385 words. So this is a much shorter summary compared to the previous one, but it still keeps all the important points that you need to master. So here again, you can actually simply read the summary in the text box, or you could export it as a Word document, as a PDF, or as a text file. So we just looked at how you can copy and paste the text directly into the text box in Vivinsy and then generate a summary. But now let's see how you can actually choose a file, upload it, and then have Vivinsy summarize the text to key points. So to do that, you want to go to choose file, you click on that, then you click on your document. So here we have a Word document. You can open the file, and the next thing you want to do is click on the click to upload file. And so now you'll notice that Vivinsy has actually taken the file that we uploaded and actually put the content in the text box. And what we can do now is click summarize, and it's going to give you another version of the summary. And so here we have another version of the summary. And once again, we can copy and paste these words to determine how many words are in the summary. And this summary is 462 words. So you'll notice that every time you click on the summarize, it gives you a slightly different version, but it's going to go ahead and keep all the essential points that you really need to hone in on and master. So if you don't like one version, just click the summarize button once again, and you will definitely end up with a version that will be consistent with your learning strategy. So we just took a look at how you summarize text to key points, but how do you actually generate the questions from the text that you're trying to master? So what you want to do is you want to go to services, go to text to questions, and you want to either copy and paste the text in the text box here or upload it as a file. So I'm going to go ahead and paste the text in here. Now there are 4 types of question formats you can choose from. You can either do a multiple choice, true or false, short answer, or fill in the blank type questions. So I'm going to go ahead and click multiple choice. And also you could either have only the questions show up, or you could have the questions and the answers show up, kind of like a study guide format. So I'm going to leave it on show answers, and then you want to click the generate questions. So when you scroll down, you notice that you have 10 really nice, elegant questions. And you have the question with the options or detractors, and then you have the correct answer to the question. So this question says, what is the basic idea of atomic theory? It gives you 4 detractors, and then it tells you what the correct answer actually is. So let's say you didn't like these questions, you could once again click on multiple choice, do show answer, click the generate questions, and once again you have another set of 10 questions. And this time the first question says, what was the complete physical model of the atom? It gives you 4 detractors, and then it gives you the correct answer to the question. So now you could go ahead and go through the questions in the text box. You could make the window pane a little bit larger so that you can have more real estate to view the questions. But what you can also do is export all of this as a PDF file, as a Word document, or as a text file. So let's go ahead and download this as a PDF, and then we can open this file and let's see how the PDF or the exported document is actually structured. So the way the PDF document or the exported document is structured is you're going to have at the top portion the question with the options or detractors, and when you scroll towards the bottom you're going to have the questions, the options, and then the actual answer to the question. Now, the thought process behind structuring the document this way is perhaps you want to go ahead and give the questions your best attempt without being biased by seeing the answers in the process. So you go through the first part of the document, and then when you have completed all of that, you go down and then you check and match up your answers with the questions to make sure that you got the answer correct. And so that will be more of a learning experience that will help you master the content deeply. So you study, you test, and then you study, and that's supposed to help with your understanding and also with your long-term retention of the content. So that's an example of the multiple choice type questions. You can do the same thing for the true or false. So I'm just going to click true or false, and then click on show answer, and then click on generate questions. So we just looked at what the true or false questions look like. Now let's go ahead and see how you generate short answer questions. So you want to click on the short answer option. You want to click on show answer because you want to see the answer to the question. And then you click on generate questions. And so now we have 10 questions, short answer type questions. You have the questions at the top, and then you have the answers at the bottom. And once again, you can look at all of this in the text box, or you could export it as a Word document, as a PDF, or as a text file. So we're just going to export this as a PDF. So once again, this would be an excellent document to add to your learning resources. Now, let's say you wanted to modify this document, put in some extra notes. Then what you want to do is you want to download this as a Word document. So I'm going to click export the results as a doc file. You're going to have a Word document right here. And then you can open this up. So now here's what the Word document looks like. So what you can do is maybe organize it in a way that you prefer. So you could take out all of this content right here and just focus on the question and the answers. Then you can put in some key things. You can personalize it, put in your name, for example, put in the course, put in the date. And then you can go ahead and format it some more. For example, make this bold, maybe just highlight the answer so you know you can easily navigate to that. Or you could actually simply copy the answer, put it right beneath the question at the top. You have so much flexibility in how you can reorganize or restructure the content in a way that is consistent with your learning strategy. So once you've modified the document and put it in a format that you prefer, you can then add the modified document to your archives and refer to it later. So the last question format that we want to explore is the fill in the blank type questions. And so what you want to do is navigate to fill in the blanks, click on show answer, click on generate questions. So now we have 10 really nice fill in the blank type questions. So what you can do is you can actually go through the questions in the text box. Once again, you could drag this down to give you as much real estate that you need. Or you could export this as a PDF, as a Word document, or as a text file. So I'm going to download this as a PDF, open this up. Then we have, once again, at the top, just the questions with the options. So you can go through this as a self-assessment. Then all the way at the bottom, you're going to have the question with the options and with the answer. So you can add all of this to your study resources. And right here, what you have is your study guide. So you have the question, you have the detractors or the options, and then you have the answer to the question. So really, this is just a quick overview of how Bivinci works. This is going to be a game changer in how you study. By using the summarize to text feature, it's going to help cut down your content processing time tremendously, and you can get the salient points of more content in really short time. And by using the text to questions feature, you can actually not only study, but also test yourself to find out how well you actually know the material. The text to questions feature is just going to help you be more efficient in your studying. So you're going to be studying smarter, faster, and you're going to enjoy the whole process and skyrocket your performance on your quizzes and exams. So I encourage you to give Bivinci a try, and if you have any questions, just send them to support@bivinci.com.